Next in the series of human resource management lectures, I'm starting here with managing discipline. One of the most important topic to be taken care of and one of the most important aspect to be taken care of by the industry experts when they have people working in their organization. Managing discipline. Discipline is a bridge between goal and accomplishment. We have certain goals when we join an organization, and we all want to accomplish this goal within a stipulated or a certain period of time. So how we can achieve those goals, how can we achieve those targets and can make it our accomplishment just with the help of a discipline. That's why Jim Rohn has clearly said it is a bridge between goal and accomplishment. The word discipline is derived from the Latin word disciplina, which means teaching, learning and growing. Very good definition given by Megginson. And after combining the different definitions given by different authors, employee discipline refers to the set of actions imposed by an organization on its employees for failure to follow the organization rules, standards and policies. Whenever we join an organization, each and every organization works on certain rules, works on certain policies, and they have certain standards set for the people, set for their employees, may it be manager, may it be supervisor, may it be worker, class 1 employee, class 2 employee, 3 or 4th cadre employee. So when we say employee discipline, it refers to the various actions or various parameters set by the organization for the working of its employees. That is, this is nothing but, in a simple language, these are the do's and don'ts of the organization and what action organization can take against the employees if they go against these rules or policies of the organization or does not work under the set standards decided by the organization. That was about the discipline, that was about the managing discipline. Now what indiscipline means? What comes under the category of don'ts? It is called indiscipline. Whatever working scenario or whatever behavioral pattern comes under the don'ts category of organization rules, regulations and policies or the systems is called indiscipline. So indiscipline means disorderliness, insubordination and not following the rules and regulations of an organization. So when an employee in an organization is not following the rules and regulation of an organization, that means they are going against the orders of the organization, they are going against the systems of the organization. That is called indiscipline. So basic symptoms of indiscipline are change in the normal behavior of an employee, that is not working according to the systems or the parameters set by the organization. He is regularly absent from the organization, higher absenteeism level is there. Apathy, go slow at work. He is or employee is there on the work but working very slow, that is his performance is not up to the mark. Increase in number and severity of the grievances done by that particular employee. Persistence and continuous demand for the overtime allowances by the employees, that is at a group level, and lack of concern for the performance of the employees. Why do we need to maintain discipline in an organization? So basic objectives of maintaining discipline are: first, to obtain a willing acceptance of the rules, regulations and procedures of an organization so that organization's goals may be attained. Another is to impart an element of certainty despite several differences in informal behavior pattern and other related changes in an organization. So whatever changes are coming in an organization, whatever different behavioral pattern employees are showing in an organization, there should be an element of certainty in all these to develop among the employees a spirit of tolerance and desire to make adjustments whenever demanded by the employer or whenever situation demands from them, to give and seek direction and responsibility, to create an atmosphere of respect for the human personality and human relations. One of the most important objective of maintaining discipline is to make employee learn that yes, they are working with the people who has their brain, who has their heart, and there is very much important, it is very much important for all of them to respect the human personality simultaneously to maintain the cordial relationship between themselves or between the employers or the employees working in the organization, to increase the working efficiency and morale of the employees so that their productivity is stepped up, the cost of production improve. And the major objective of maintaining discipline is to increase the working efficiency of the employees, to boost up the morale of the employees, and definitely when working efficiency will improve, morale level will go high, their productivity is bound to be improved, and when the productivity will improve, definitely cost of production will go down. At the end of the day, organization will earn profit and organization will distribute this profit amongst the employees. As I have covered in earlier slides also, it is just a circle. So when the one step go up, another step automatically goes up, and at the end of the day, both employer and employee is going to get benefited out of it. Employee will get more salary in the form of incentives or profit sharing, and employer will get more profit in the form of profits only when workers are working really good. But there is a question, why employees show indiscipline? What are the various reasons of employee indiscipline in an organization? The first and the foremost reason is poor employee selection and orientation procedure. This we can also say poor employee hiring. When the manpower planning goes wrong, when the selection goes wrong or the recruitment goes wrong, automatically the whole organization systems comes under a mess. So employee create indiscipline when there is a wrong selection of people in an organization, and the moreover wrong selection of people leads to the wrong choices, that is wrong hiring. And wrong hiring mean to say the people those who have hired, they are not good enough to be kept in an organization. Poorly defined employee expectations, employee were expecting something else and we were not able to meet all these expectations, or somehow from an organization point of view we have raised their expectations to a different level, which we know we cannot meet their expectation as an employer at any point of time. Poorly understood employee expectation by the management. Improperly selected and trained supervisors. It could be a lapse on the part of a management also. It could be a lapse on the part of a supervisor also. So we have supervisors, those who are not at all in a position to manage them. So first mistake we did when we hired wrong people, and second mistake when we have supervisors, they are qualified enough but they are not able in a position to control them properly. Incorrect philosophy of discipline. It should not be something to unnecessarily exploit the people. So exploitation is something different, discipline is something different. Employee indiscipline leads to employee misbehavior, inefficiency on the part of their work, increased cost, unhealthy and unsafe working environment. It could lead to strikes, layouts, gheraos of the management, or so many other steps or other problems could be there in a longer run. We have certain disciplinary guidelines given in the law. In the Trade Union Act we have, again so many other acts which are they are related to Workmen Compensation Act also has mentioned certain disciplinary guidelines. So when we talk about disciplinary guidelines related to the management of indiscipline, the basic points are I am covering here. Make sure the evidence supports the charge of employee wrongdoing. That means you should have a evidence in your hand. Ensure that the employee's due rights are protected. Warn the employee of the indisciplinary or disciplinary consequences. The rule that was allegedly violated should be related to the efficient and safe operation of the particular work environment. Fairly and adequately investigate the matter before administering discipline. Investigation should produce substantial evidence of misconduct. That's why we have said make sure the evidence supports the charge of the employee wrongdoing. So you cannot blame any employee without you have sufficient evidence in your hand, because at the time of investigation, management has to produce that evidence of misconduct. Rules, orders and penalties should be applied even-handedly. That should be same for each and every employee, irrespective of the designation or irrespective of the cadre of that employee in the organization. Penalty should be related to the misconduct and employee's past history. If it is first time misconduct, or if it is a first time indiscipline and it's a very minor type of an indiscipline, whereas I feel there is no minor and major indiscipline. Indiscipline is indiscipline. So penalty should be related to the misconduct and employee past work history also matters. Maintain the employee's right to counsel and don't rob an employee of his or her dignity. At the end of the day, HR department should keep in mind that employee is a one who is coming to an organization with his dignity, with his self-respect. So at any point of time, we are not supposed to ruin or we are not supposed to let down him or her at any point of time in an organization. There are the different types of disciplinary actions which we can take. Definitely, these are the four levels to which we can go. Again, it depends upon the discipline or indisciplined behavior that the employee has shown. So there are four general types of disciplinary action. The first type of disciplinary action is a verbal counseling, where we give verbal warning to an employee and we leave them, and we organize certain counseling sessions which should be documented by a formal memo or informal note in the employee's personal file. Then the second step is a written warning, which includes the date of the warning, employee name, name of the supervisor administering the warning, description of the misconduct, date of the misconduct, signature line of the supervisor, signature line of the employee against whom or for whom this indiscipline inquiry is there, indicating the receiving only, signature line for the witness, and action plan to fix the behavior in a given time frame. So if your behavioral will be like this for another 6 months, action would be taken against you. Then is the suspension. This may range from 1 day to 2 week suspension depending upon the circumstances. Next step may be suspension of increasing length or directly go to termination. Again, depends upon the level of indiscipline that employee has created. But whatever it is, it should be stated in the suspension letter. And the last one comes as a termination of an employee. Termination is the personal file and all the relevant documents must be reviewed to ensure that the termination is appropriate. Some behavior warrants automatic dismissal, like violent behavior if that employee is shown drug and alcohol use on the duty, carrying a weapon, theft, destruction, insubordination and abandonment of the job. There are so many other forms of indisciplinary actions are also that employee can be demoted from one higher position to the another lower level position. That person can be transferred from one department to another department or one particular branch to another particular branch. If we feel yes, he is a really good employee, but he is not able to adjust himself with the other employees of the organization, we can transfer him. And the last is the reduced raises or the bonuses. We can also cut down the bonus of an employer. We can cut down the increment of that particular employee also. But all these disciplinary actions, may it be written warning, may it be verbal warning, may it be termination or suspension, it all entirely depends upon the level of indiscipline that employee has created. I want to clear one point here. The basic purpose of taking any sort of an indiscipline or disciplinary action is to bring certain improvement in an organization, not to make an employee such a person so that he is totally ruined for the life. So this is one of the most important point we have to keep in our mind while taking any discipline action against an employee. Thank you so much. I request you all to please like, share and subscribe my channel Ritu Gandhi Arora. Thank you.